everyone, today is December 5th. This is the 5th day of Vlogmas. It's really gloomy here today. I'm just looking out my window up here in my knitter's niche, my bonus room. I'm looking outside. It's been drizzly and rainy all morning. It's a little chilly up here, and I've got my Christmas pajamas on. There's been a big pajama debacle on here. The first pair of pajamas that I wore on episode day one of Vlogmas, I've had them for over 10 years, and you know, I never wore them. But aren't they perfect for Vlogmas? So, I mean, they've moved with me when we moved down south here, and I still had them. I thought, oh, those would be fantastic for Vlogmas. Well, I've searched and searched online, and they are nowhere to be found. So, oh boy, I'm in trouble because there's no way of purchasing them. But maybe that's an opportunity for somebody to come out with some pajamas that have knitting on them. So anyway, got my pajamas on, nice and silky, just so comfy, cozy, keeping me warmer up here in my knitter's niche. So everybody, let's grab some hot beverage here. I've got my Emma Bridgewater mug that it's actually from England. It's made in England, and they had a special, it was during the summer, late summer, where their shipping was only $10, plus this one was on sale. And you know, shipping, it cost a lot to get something shipped from overseas. So I jumped on that opportunity. So grab your mug of hot beverage and keep warm, because I'm thinking that, I don't know if I probably shouldn't say, but I was going to say the majority of the United States is probably chilly today. I don't know. But anyway, wherever you are, grab something that you like to drink and put it in a beautiful mug. Sit back, grab your knitting, and let's get started. We're going to open the next yarn advent. Little package, little skein, 20 gram mini. It is 25% merino. 75% merino and 25% nylon, and they are for again Southern Skeins is the yarn dyer that I had purchased my advent from, and this is the first time I've ever purchased an advent, so I'm pretty excited about this. I've got it down here. I still have it in my box. This has worked out pretty good, so I'm just going to keep doing it out of the box. And there it is. It's called Rudolph and Friends. Rudolph and Friends, and on the back, like I've said before, little calendar, and each day it has listed the name of the yarn. She's named each one. She's hand dyed each color and given them a name. Number 1 was Rudolph. Number 2 is Snowman Sam. Number 3 was Hermie. Yesterday's, December 4th, day 4, was Abominable. Oh, and today's December 5th. This is Jelly Shootin' Pistol. I'm going to have to look that up and put a picture over here about what that character looks like. Okay, I'm reaching in and getting day 5. She's wrapped him in tissue, so I'm going to be surprised, just like everybody else. So let's get this open. Okay. Here we go. Now, I'll look away, and I have no idea what color this might be, so I'm going to look over this way and show it to y'all first. Let's take a look. Oh my goodness, I love this. You know what? This might be one of my favorite ones. Oh my gosh. Again, I do not know how these hand dyers do this. That's why they're doing it, not me. That's why I get to enjoy their talent. Okay, this is it. It has gray in it, and it has some blue, it has some pink, and it's all just melding one color right into the other. This is beautiful. Oh my goodness, I love this. I'm so excited. And you know, that's why a lot of us buy these yarn advents, because they're a surprise, and they're just like little gifts, one little gift a day that we get to open just for us. Okay, so let's put that there. Alrighty, now the other, I'll take that off in a minute because I'm going to give it a spin. This is the little advent. Again, I've talked about for 4 days now. An advent that I had put together. And last episode yesterday, last Vlogmas episode, day 4, I put a link on the bottom for how to make your own yarn advent. And it's fun to do. It really is. So this is what I have done. I put them all in little bags. I have a spinner here. I'm going to spin it, whatever number it lands on. I'm going to twirl my Swifter around. Okay, here we go. It is on number 5. So let's do 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, let's see which one. Oh, it's number 2. Was it number 2 yesterday? Of course, if it was, it's going to be different because I put a new one in. And again, I closed my eyes and I reached into all my row 1 minis. They're 10-gram minis. I reach in, my eyes closed, put it in the bag, cinch it up real quick, and put it on my Swift. Okay, so here we go. Let's take a look at this. I'll show it to y'all first. Let's see. Oh, this is beautiful too. This is going to go fantastic with the one that I just opened yesterday. Now, this is woolen vinyl, and it's called Jesse's Girl. Okay, now, you know what? If you grew up in the 70s, I don't know if it was 70s or early 80s. We know that song. Rick Springfield, Jesse's Girl. We all know that song. And woolen vinyl, there again, I think the vinyl means your record albums because they were made of vinyl. They used to call them vinyls. They don't make them anymore, I don't think. But you can buy them. You can go into these record shops and buy them. This one has blues. It has a little bit of fuchsia pink. It has a navy, a deep, deep navy in there, speckles. Oh my gosh, it's just so, even this fingering weight is squishy. There's just something about natural yarn and natural wool. And again, these are merino, 75% merino and 25% nylon. And they're so cute, little 10-gram minis. But you can get a little miter square out of these and then put all your little squares together. This is my little routine here. I'm gonna grab my yarn advent Vlogmas bag. And then I love the interior fabric. It's a retro Christmas. It's beautiful. And then I put gold, not yellow gold, but gold cording for the handles. Okay, so let's look at the Southern Skeins advent calendar that I have bought. This was number 1. Again, I caked that up. Very difficult to get a good cake on a yarn, on a ball winder, because the diameter of the center just doesn't work with the amount of yarn that you end up with on there. It just wants to kind of fall apart. So this was day 1 of my Vlogmas advent, and it's called Rudolph. That's Rudolph. If I can remember these without looking. Okay, let's try it. This is Snowman Sam. That was day 2. That was day 2. And day 3, of course, Snowman Sam is a snowman. Burl Ives actually sang the songs in this television show, because this is from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the movie. So that was Snowman Sam, and this one is Hermie. And Hermie is a little elf. He's got blonde hair, and he's got a big blonde swoosh in his hair, and a lot of the colors are exactly what's in this yarn of his clothing that he's wearing. And then yesterday, day 4, was Abominable. And Abominable is an abominable snowman. So that was called Abominable. And then today's, I'm going to have to look at the name again, you guys. This is a different one. Okay. Jelly Shooting Pistol. There it is. I don't think you can see here. But aren't those just great? Aren't they great? All right. Well, they're going to go into my bag here. And then I'm also going to put in my row 1 mini by Woolen Vinyl. That's the hand-dyed yarn dyer. There you go, yarn dyer. And the name of this is Jesse's Girl. Jesse's Girl. I'm not going to sing it because I can't. Well, and you don't want me to sing anyway. And we can't do songs on YouTube anyway. It'd be a copyright violation. From what I understand. Okay, I think we're all done. I'm still mulling around in my brain what I'm going to do with these Advents. And it's like, someone just needs to give me a swift kick or a shove and say, Bobby, just get on with it. Decide what you're going to do. I'm one of those people that if I have got a lot of options, I'm like, whoa, it's a little bit much for me. I like to keep things all regimented and everything. And when I have a lot thrown at me like that, it's like, whoo. And doing these videos every day for Vlogmas, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, y'all. It's a lot of work, but it's rewarding too, because your final result, like I said yesterday, you cut so much out of your video because you want to keep it short, you want to keep it concise, and you want it to be somewhat entertaining and absolutely informative too. So that's what I strive to do. So a lot of mine, by the time I get it edited, and I'm exhausted at the end of the night because it's really late. Because we all have things that we have to do during the day, regardless of what's going on with our Vlogmas or our podcast on YouTube. So we got to squeeze everything in. But you know what? It's a lot of fun, and I would encourage everyone that is thinking about it to do it, just to jump in and do it. That's the secret to everything. Just jump in. So give me a swift kick. Give me a shove and say, Bobby, just get with it. Decide what you're going to do with these yarn Advents. Okay, I'm going to take you throughout my day here. Okay, my plan, okay, I'm going to keep my fingers crossed. My plan is to get downstairs, get in the kitchen. I'm going to have you follow me down, to come on down, meet me there. I'm going to make that potato soup today. I've been talking about it too long. See you downstairs. I finally made the potato soup today. It was a little late when I started, so we did have a late lunch. First, I rinsed the potatoes. You start off with 5 pounds of potatoes, and then I decided to put bacon in it. The recipe I had used called for ham, like a big chunk of ham, and then you cube it up and put it in with the potatoes. But I went ahead and used bacon because I had bacon. So I fried some bacon up, and then you're supposed to put 1-inch cubed potatoes, 5 pounds of them, put them in a pan, and then add your water to where it just covers the potatoes. If you use too much, it will make your soup too thin. And there I have the rest of the ingredients on the island all lined up there. Salt and pepper, a stick of butter, sour cream, and I used heavy whipping cream instead of half and half. The recipe called for half and half, but from what I understand, it's about the same thing. Anyway, it worked out wonderful. And now I got my bacon all done. It's ready to go. And then I'm still boiling my potatoes. What you do with those is you get the water that comes to a boil, and then after it comes to a boil, you lower the temperature, and then you simmer it with the lid off. Well, I did not take the lid off. I didn't read through the recipe on that part, but I read it later. And I think that potatoes held together well, but I think they would have been a little bit more, would have held together better if I would have taken the lid off, because they needed to boil 20 more minutes after that water had come to boil, because you can see how I left the lid on there. There's some steam coming out, so I had to adjust the lid. And here's a couple recipes I kind of mashed together. Mostly the one on the left is the recipe that I'd used. And really it's very simple. There's not very many ingredients in it. And it's very, very good. One thing I did different with the recipe is I added 1.5 cups of sharp cheddar cheese. First, I'm still boiling the potatoes. What you add first would be your stick of butter. I put in an unsalted stick of butter, and I had added 1.5 cups of shredded cheddar cheese. I didn't film it, but it's in there, and that helped it make me even creamier. And then you add your sour cream along with that, and then when that's done, you just go ahead and either put your ham in there or your bacon, whichever you decide to use. So I put the bacon in. I think it probably needed more bacon, but I don't know. I think it was the right amount because then I don't want it to be too salty. So we've got it all ready to eat. We're sitting at the table. Sprinkle some bacon on, sprinkle a little bit more of the mild shredded cheddar cheese. Today was a perfect day to have this. It's been rainy and cold. It has rained all night, all day. It is still raining right now. So here's another look. I will have the recipe listed in the description.